National Education Policy 2020 Governance and Standard Setting in Schools. Optimal resource efficiency through school complexes, clusters. To energize and empower the schooling system in a resource-efficient manner by sharing best practices. Adequate number of teachers, counselors, trained social workers for teaching all subjects including art, sports, vocational subjects, etc. Adequate resources such as a library, science labs, computer labs, playgrounds, etc. Building a sense of community to overcome the isolation of teachers, students, and schools. Holding joint activities such as art and science exhibitions, sports meets, quizzes and debates, fairs, etc. Cooperation and support across schools for the education of children with disabilities. Improved governance by devolving all final decisions to principals, teachers, and other stakeholders. Enhancing cooperation and synergy among schools. Twinning pairing of one public school with one private school will be adopted across the country, making paired schools interact and learn from each other. Strengthen existing or establish Bal Bhavans as part of school complexes where children of all ages can visit to partake in art, career and play-related activities. Invigorating state institutions through standard setting. Department of School Education, responsible for overall monitoring and policy making for continual improvement, not to be involved with the provision and operation of schools or with regulation of schools. SCERT, responsible for academic standards and curricula in the state. Develop school quality assessment and accreditation framework. SQAAF. Lead a change management process for the reinvigoration of CRCs, BRCs, and DIETS. Department of School Education, responsible for educational operations and service provision for whole state. Works independently to implement policies regarding educational operations. Setting up of State School Standards Authority SSSA for regulation and accreditation. States UTs to set up an independent statewide body for an effective quality self-regulation or accreditation system. Establish a minimal set of standards based on basic parameters in accordance with global best practices for standard setting for schools. Transparent public self-disclosure of all the basic regulatory information will be used for public oversight and accountability. Keep updated and accurate information on public websites. Adjudicate any complaints or grievances from stakeholders. Systematic assessment and accreditation across schools. Public and private schools will be assessed and accredited on same criteria, benchmarks, and processes to ensure that public-spirited private schools are encouraged. For schools controlled, managed, aided by the central government, the CBSE, in consultation with the Ministry of Education, shall prepare a framework. Standard setting in assessments and regulations across institutions. National Assessment Center, Parak, to be established under Ministry of Education for setting norms, standards and guidelines for student assessment and evaluation for all recognized school boards of India. State School Standard Authority, independent body at state UT level for regulation and accreditation of schools and transparent public disclosure of data. School Quality Assessment and Accreditation Framework, designed by SCERT to increase accountability at a school level.